This is Anna. If you go down to LVR, by Classroom A, the little cubicles, you'll see her on the end. She's the Lockbox whiz. So, who hasn't seen one of these? Micah, probably you haven't seen one of these. This is the Lockbox. This is a newer version of it. Okay, that's kind of what she's going to talk about. But just so,
No,
that's
the old one.
That's the old one.
He's got
There's
the
a
old
newer
one.
version that she's going to show you.
There is a new version,
But just so you know, some agents in here, Anna, have been doing this a
Long time?
long time.
Okay.
Some have been doing it for 20 minutes.
All right. Perfect.
So keep that in mind, you get a whole bunch.
Okay, perfect. So if I go too fast for new ones, slow me down.
Exactly.
If you guys want me to speed up and you know this stuff, I'll go through it. But it's a great refresher for those of you that have been around. There's a lot of features on the app that people don't know about and don't use. And so that's what I'm gonna go over as well.
I'll leave it as a gift for us.
No, I'm not. Thank you.
Wow. Sort of like the old,
It does come out from the bottom.
but it doesn't detach.
I brought my old ones with me. I
Right.
thought this was a
Yes.
trade-in deal.
All right, gang, have fun, enjoy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm Anna Peskin, and I have a partner also at LVR. Her name is Jessica, and she's at the cubby right next to me. So there's actually two of us here to help with your Sentrilock needs because there are over 50,000 lock boxes just in the LVR area alone. So I've been here about 5 years this weekend, my anniversary with Sentrilock. So I've been here 5 years to help you with all of your lockbox needs. And I don't know if you guys knew we were there, but please spread the word, let them know there are representatives right here, local in LVR, to help you with your lockboxes and the app and the website, whatever you need with Sentrilock. We're here to help you. Okay? So what we're gonna go over today is the Gen 3, which is what Tim called our old box. The Gen 3 versus the SentriGuard. SentriGuard is the new box. So I'm gonna go over the differences between the two. We'll review some best practices when you're out there in the field that are good for both. And then we'll review the new features, and I'll touch very briefly on the website. Several agents don't use our website. There are certain features you can only do on the website, and I'll go over a couple of those with you as well. So, and then we'll have it open at the end of the presentation for questions. Right. So, the current generation 3, this baby, it's Bluetooth, just like this one, the new one. SentriConnect, which I'll go over in a few minutes. Has anybody used SentriConnect? You have? Okay, great. SentriConnect is a feature that we have, and it's good on both.
This is what I need.
One-day codes are only good on this box. This one will have flex codes. Call before showing is only on this box, but it's going to go away very shortly. And contractor codes is only on this box. And it's going to go away very shortly as well. So what's going to replace it? So CBS is going away, contractor codes are going away. And then the new box, our SentriGuard box, it's a little different. It's rubberized, so a couple of the better features on it. Rubberized so it won't be banging on the door. It will drop from the bottom, the key bin drops from the bottom, and it's a lot faster. You don't have to wait for those motors like you do with this one. It's Bluetooth, and it also has touch and show. So if you have Apple Pay or it's NFC, if you have that on your phone, you can just touch your phone up to it and it will open the key bin for you. So a lot faster mechanisms. And then this has flex codes versus one-day codes. With a flex code on this baby, you can give it as little as 30 minutes up to 30 days for a code. So that's the major differences. Just know that those one-day the contractor and call before showing is going away. Call before showing has been replaced with access by appointment, and that's on both right now. And SentriConnect is replacing the contractor modes. Okay. So some best practices when you're out and about. We want you to renew your credentials on the app before you leave to go do your showings. You will get that green check mark on the app. And it's right in the middle, and you can open your apps if you want because I'm not doing live right now. But right in the middle of the screen, you get that green check mark. You want to make sure you have that before you go do your showings, because if you don't have that, and it's a red X, that means you didn't renew your credentials with our server. And you need to do that at least once a day before you start doing your showings. How many of you have gone out to the properties and the bot, it just spins, your app just spins, right? You guys love to call that, the spinning wheel of death. To avoid that spinning wheel of death, just open your app where you have good Wi-Fi, whether it be your house, here at the office, Starbucks. Open the app, leave it running in the background, and then go do your showings. When you're out in the properties, you can actually turn off Wi-Fi so it's not searching and spinning. You can actually put your phone on airplane mode and it will still open via Bluetooth. So that's the biggest tip I can give you, where a lot of agents get frustrated is because of that spinning app. Open it before you leave, when you have good Wi-Fi. Generation 3, this baby, you do need to wait for those motors to stop before you close it. A lot of agents think that once it's open, they can just try to beat that second motor. There's 2 motors. One releases, the other aligns so it can latch. So you want to wait till all the motors stop before you close it. If you don't, then it may jam on you and not close for you. Okay, and you won't be able to put that key back. With the new box, the SentriGuard box, if it doesn't drop automatically from the bottom, then there's a pull tab here that you can pull to get it to come down for the key then to open. But that's really, and make sure that the shackle's all the way in on the new box. The right way to do a showing, get the key, close the box. How many of you leave that box open and go do your showings? Okay. Whether you're lying or not, I don't know.
I have, to be honest.
All right. And then trigger the end of showing. You should have seen the end of showing popping up on your app. We just put it in there maybe about 6 months ago or so. It's a new feature that we added, and it's red so that you remember to click that end of showing, and then return the key. As a listing agent, always check the lockbox before you put it on your property. Make sure the batteries have been changed recently. This batteries 4 to 5 years most. We've been here almost 10 years now, I think. Yeah, 2015 we came in, so 9 years. We have boxes out there with still 2014 battery dates. They're not going to work for you. They're not. Check the box before you put it on your listing. And then also check the firmware.
And if they need batteries, where do you get them?
You come to LVR
Yay!
and see Jessica or myself.
Crazy.
You do not have to buy them. We
know, it's
give them
less
to
than
you
we
for
buy.
free. So please don't buy them. Bring your boxes to us at LVR, and that's what we're here for, to service the boxes. Okay. If you're at a property and you're having trouble with the app, force close out of all apps and then reopen it. That's one of the first things support will have you do, is force close out anything you have open. Several of us tend to leave things open on our phones, and you have like 20 different apps running in the background. That will clog up the system. So force close out, and if you don't know how, on an iPhone it's just really swiping up, minimizing it, and then swiping it away. Okay? But you want to do that from time to time as well. Okay. So this is our home screen of the app. You're all familiar with that, maybe not in the back, but this is the home screen. You'll see the numbers on the top. You have the, on the bottom for an iPhone, if you have an Android. How many are Android users in here? Anybody? Okay. So if you have an Android, your home, the house, the message center, and the profile is up on the top. That's the only difference with the Android. You'll see the numbers up on top. You don't need to use your view nearby properties. A lot of agents are using this. You don't need to. All you do is press enter on that lockbox, and I'll go over that in just a minute. But our home screen here, to get to the main screen, which is where you want to be to open the lockbox, you press the home button. Otherwise, the message center, this will give you all of your messages that have come in. So this is where, as a listing agent, you get the beginning and ending showing notification on your properties. They will come here. If you want to add a team member to share your lockboxes, you can share your lockboxes with somebody. You would have to invite them. The invite goes to the message center, and they would have to click on it and accept being on your team. Once they do that, then they can share your lockboxes. They have ownership privileges, but they don't own the box. We also get low battery notifications here, and please don't ignore those low battery notifications. We have so many agents coming in and saying, oh, I got this like 3 months ago, and it keeps telling me I've got a low battery, and now it's dead on the property. Well, then what happens is you have to come and borrow what's called a power paddle. Has anybody had to do that? Okay, we have a power paddle at the office, so if you have a dead lockbox that you can't get off a property, first step is to come get that power paddle. It gives it enough boost to open the key door. We give you batteries. You need to take a Phillips head screwdriver with you. You take that power paddle to it and change out the batteries, and then release the shackle and remove it from the property. So, you just fill out a form for that. But this is where you'll get those low battery notifications. And then if you click on the profile, that's you. It's your information, so we want to make sure, check your email is correct, check your phone number is correct. And if you have an account with another association, you can always add an account, so you don't have to have 2 different phones for if you have if you're affiliated with another association, you can just toggle between the 2 accounts. And then if you wanted to change your PIN or your password, you would click on the pencil at the top right, and this is where you can change your PIN or your password, and this is for Sentrilock app. Okay. And we're gonna go back to the home screen. The other thing I wanna show you is this telephone up here. If you're at a lockbox and you need immediate help, even though Jessica and I are here at the office, if we're one-on-one with somebody, we ignore that phone. So we ask that if you're at a lockbox and you need help right away, click that phone and then call support. Lockbox support is right there for you. And that will get you to our support center, which is in Cincinnati, Ohio. And you'll get a live person, not a computer, and not a chat. It's a live person that will walk you through.
What if it's 8 o'clock at night and they're still in Ohio? Is they still gonna?
They are there until midnight their time, which is 9 p.m. our time.
Which is when they lock up.
And these lock up 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you shouldn't need help after that. All right.
And I'm sorry, you said it's this little phone
The
button?
phone up there.
Okay.
Yep, if you click it, it'll open up this screen and you click on Lockbox Support. Thank you. Okay, and now to open a lockbox, you're just going to press enter on the box. It's going to connect with your phone and ask for your PIN, face, or fingerprint, depending on how you have it set up. You get the success screen. If the key's missing, you toggle this on. If it's not missing, leave it alone. What this means is when you got there, the key wasn't there, it will send the listing agent an email letting them know the key was missing. When you got there, it tells them who the last showing agent was so they can get a hold of them to get the key back. So it's kind of your get out of jail free card. Okay? Agent safety, how many of you use agent safety? Do you have it turned on? Okay. It's a great feature as long as you keep up with it and you make sure you know how to use it. Otherwise, your contact people are getting messages all the time saying that you're not safe. So what it is, if you have this enabled and it's turned on, it will send a safety alert. It will pop up on your app and it's going to ask you 3 things. You can say, ask me again every 2 minutes if I'm safe. You can say, turn off, I'm safe. Or you can say, send an alert. And it will send an alert to your safety contact person that you choose once you set it up. If you ignore that pop-up screen, it sends twice. It sends the alert anyway to your safety contact person. And then they get a message saying, you might want to check on so-and-so, and it gives them your location as well. As long as the lockbox is assigned to a property, it will give them your location as well.
Put the agent safety.
Yeah,
I'll show you at the end how to turn it on, okay?
Okay, to the fit side.
should be, you do.
All right, so then, once you have this success, you want to hit continue. You get the showing information. So this is anything that the listing agent wants you to know about the property. If they have instructions in the MLS, they will populate right up here where it says none provided. Otherwise, they can add their own instructions. They can let you know if they have a dog on the property, all of that, anything they want you to know about the property. If there's an alarm and the alarm code, that's all at your fingertips. If you swipe to the left, you get number of bedrooms, number of baths, square footage, and listing price. How many of you knew this was there? Just a couple, okay. This has been there since COVID, 2020. It's been there, so none of you are hitting continue. You guys are opening the box and just swiping out of your app and leaving, right? Okay. This information is all at your fingertips. If you have RPR, it will open up the RPR app and give you all the details for that property as well. So comps in the area, schools, all of that, it will open up that app for you too, straight from our app. We do support RPR.
I'm
If
all
you-
over,
sorry.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say I'm all over this app and I can't follow you, I have no idea where you're at, so.
Okay, this is when you open a box, and that's why, you haven't opened a box.
I open boxes all the time.
But you're not opening one right now, this won't pop
Oh,
up.
I'm sorry, okay.
This won't pop up until you open a box.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. No
And
wonder
then-
I can't find it.
And then if you swipe to the left again, you get that listing agent's contact information, which is why I said make sure it's accurate on the app, so that they can call and ask you questions about the property, alright? Then when you're done with that showing, see this end showing, and notice it was on every slide, once you open the box, you wanna click end showing. Click end showing again, confirming that you wanna end that showing, then you return the key, press enter on the box again, it's gonna ask for your face, pin, or fingerprint, and then you'll get the success screen that you've ended the showing for
And-
that.
Are you gonna show us how to, I don't remember the face or the fingerprint.
I can show you how to set that up, okay? But that end of showing is really important because it will notify the listing agent that you're done. And if it's, especially if it's owner occupied, and I'll show you how they can set it up, because owners, can get those beginning and ending showing notifications as well, okay? So the next one is how to open this baby, and it's basically the same thing. You're going to press enter on the box for Bluetooth if you want that, but if you wanna use the NFC, which is this, right here, this sensor, you would hold your phone up to the sensor, and it's gonna tell you that it's only for a SentriGuard box, and then it's the same thing. Everything else is exactly the same, the box opens. Swipe to the left, you get all the same information, return the key, everything is the same. It's just a matter of how you open the box, and you can press enter on it. These are those showing notifications, and you saw those in the message center, right? If you're a listing agent, that's where it goes, it's in your message center. And it tells you the beginning and ending showing notification. And what triggers that is, again, clicking that end of showing. If you have the app open and you don't swipe out of it right away, and you leave quarter-mile radius away, it will trigger the end of showing for you. If you go across the street, open up another lockbox, it will trigger that end of showing notification for you. So there are other ways to trigger that, but the safest way to trigger it is just to click that big red box that says end showing.
How do you get out of that end showing though? Cause I've gone through everything that you're doing, cause I still have it from this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I go through the end, return key, and I get to here.
Okay, since you're not on that box anymore, you can do, end showing, and then I believe it'll just say, you can say dismiss.
Mhm.
Okay, but then.
Because you didn't trigger it for the last one.
But then I have to do the back arrow to get to the main screen, or if I cancel out of it,
Yeah.
that little red button stays on the home screen.
No, if you click it now,
It still says end showing.
click it. And then is there a dismiss?
No, there's an
In
end
your-
showing or a cancel,
Cancel.
and I still
It's
have
still there?
end of showing.
Okay, let me see
Yeah,
it.
so I've been like in this loop.
In the loop?
For weeks, yeah.
It should say
It never
dismiss.
disappears.
It should be in your like little email box down there, they
Okay.
dismiss it from there.
Just skip that part. Skip
Okay.
returning the key, cause you don't need to, and then dismiss.
And then there's a dismiss.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's
Okay.
mine, Mama, it's mommy.
Yes, yes,
It's
so
end
the
showing.
end showing here, and then end showing, oops, yours
It is like that.
okay, we'll have to look at yours after, okay? Alright, so these are the notifications, like I said, and if you don't do any of that, a 90-minute unconfirmed end of showing will go to the listing agent, letting them know it's been an hour and a half, our system says the showing's done, because the agent didn't trigger it, okay?
And that's usually the people that leave the damn box open and decide to park it.
Or swipe out of the app very quickly. If you swipe out of your app really quickly, those showing notifications won't go through. So you have to have that connection with the server still. The information has to have some time to get through. This is the end of showing that a homeowner can get. So it's basic information, lets them know when the showing started and when it ended. It doesn't give them who showed the property or anything like that, the agent's name, nothing. Just says, you left your house at this time, you can go back at this time. Okay? So that's why it's important to trigger those end of showings. Okay.
I have a question, end of showing. When I open the door, I have one time I closed the lockbox, I went to the house, right? But
Yes.
my mom cannot open anymore, I stayed like 2 hours to able to open the lockbox, put key back. Can I just leave it open?
No, if you leave it open, especially with this one, it will auto lock on you so that you won't be able to close it.
Oh.
So you wanna
So
make
after
sure you close it.
Close it right away.
Yes, cause if you leave it open, a lot of them will auto lock on you in the open phase. You have to act like you're opening the box again, even though it's open, to run the motor for it to close.
Yeah, so better
Okay.
close
Close
first
it.
and after showing and open
And
it
then
again.
open it again, do
Oh,
that whole
okay.
thing where you're end of
Okay.
showing, return key,
Uh-huh.
it walks you through putting the key back, okay?
I had a similar scenario, but I was like 8:45, showed him the home, we're shooting the damn breeze, next thing you know, it's 9:15, and I can't put the key back.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to drive my butt back over there at 7 AM to put the key back in to make sure. So
Yeah.
there's no, I mean, that was
There's
just,
nothing, yeah,
Okay.
there's none.
just gotta watch my time.
And you just have to, you can run it again and see if the motor realigns, and that will do it. Okay, so to release the shackle, you've all released shackles. How many of you are listing agents? You have lockboxes? Beautiful. Okay, release the shackle. We've added your listing, the most popular listing agents features here on the main screen of the app. Click on release shackle, again press the enter button. But before I do that, I wanna show you this right here. How many of you know you can give a shackle release code to somebody to get your box off for you? So you don't have to drive out there.
Very soft, yeah.
You can get shackle release code, it will create a code just like a one-day code, but the functions are a little different, what they have to press in, and then they can release the shackle for you and bring you your lockbox. I would only do that to somebody you trust with your lockbox, because now they have your lockbox.
Right. So just push it the bottom, right?
You
Get
press,
the code.
yeah, get shackle release code right down there. Otherwise, you're just gonna press enter on the box, again, face, pin or fingerprint. Always get this warning, and even with this one, you're always gonna get the warning because the shackle comes all the way off, okay? And click okay.
Looks like the new one, bigger than the smaller.
The new one is a little smaller
Maybe too big
circumference
for
here,
the
yeah.
hole, some hole, like, I don't know.
Well, we don't want them on hose bibs anyway, so. And then click it to assign to property. And you'll pick your property. How many of you sometimes have to put a lockbox on the property to do one-day codes, before it's live on the MLS? You've come into that, right? Okay. You can click on right here, can't find property, right down here. See that? Click on can't find property, put in your street address, so the number of the house and the street, or just the number of the house. Click submit. It will put it in a pending assignment to that address, and then you can issue one-day codes and grant SentriConnect. It should pend it for about 2 weeks. If it's gonna be live in MLS, that's where I would use that, okay? The trick is though, for it to sync, if you put in, let's say it's 1 Hope Street, if you put in 1 Hope ST on the app, and the MLS says 1 Hope Street, it won't sync, you'll have 2 listings, and then you unassign the one and then reassign the other. It's really easy. Okay. But, so if your listing is live in the MLS, it will populate right down here. You'll pick the listing you want to put the box on. You'll click confirm. You get the success screen. How many of you close out of this here? Okay. If you click more settings, this is where you can put all that information that you saw when we opened the box. So you can toggle these on and off however you want. This is a text box. You can put in whatever information you want them to know about the property. If there's an alarm code. If you click next, this is where you put in the homeowner's information to get those showing notifications. You just need a first name, last name, and cell number, and you can put in 2 people. A lot of agents use this feature for co-listing agent. So sometimes you're co-listing the property, But the notifications only go to the listing agent, so if you want your co-listing agent, you could put them in here. Some people use that for that, besides the homeowner. Click next, put in their information, and then next. Now, access by appointment, this is new, so those of you that do have listings right now, if you've assigned your lockbox, if you accidentally turn this on, what will happen is when somebody goes to open the box, it's gonna tell them they can't open it because they need an appointment. So, when you're at this screen, when you're assigning your lock boxes to your property, when you're at this screen, if you don't want access by appointment on, you're gonna click skip. Otherwise, you turn on access by appointment, and you're done.
And if they don't have that appointment, they
Again,
ain't
that's
getting
very
in.
important, again, you have to set up where you put the listing information in, right? What's it called? What part, I mean,
Well, this is access by appointment for us. MLS, I have no idea,
okay.
cause that's a whole different
Different
ballgame.
setups.
This
On
is,
that phone, okay.
this is on the phone app, and this will make it so that people with
Cannot
this,
go
they
in
can't
there.
go in. They
Good.
will not open the box. You would need to have they need an appointment with you,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna show you how to put an appointment in our system, or you can give them a 1-day code and it'll let them in with a 1-day code. They'll have to call you though. Okay, so that's how you set up all of that. We put it on, released it, we signed the lockbox, we did access by appointment. And then, once you have a listing and you wanna see who's accessed your boxes, you're gonna click on get the access log, which is in the bottom left. And that gives you your accesses, and if you click on one of the accesses, it will give you more details of who opened your box and when they opened it, okay? Now, keyless accesses, let's talk about 1-day codes, flex codes, and SentriConnect. These are for people that do not have the SentriKey app, that you want to give access to the property. You wanna give them that key, okay? Remember, you're giving them the key to somebody's property, so you wanna make sure you're doing everything by the book and you know who you're giving that code to, okay? And there are some brokers that do not allow 1-day codes. I don't know if Realty One is one of them, so I'll go over it with you, but check with your broker to make sure you're allowed to use them. Okay, so you'll click on get access code. You'll click the property. It does need to be assigned to a property or in a pending assignment. You'll put in who you want the code for, and then how, this is a 1-day code, it's only good for the day. Once they use it, it expires an hour later, okay? The new SentriGuard box is called a flex code, and your app will know the difference between the two. And you can give it as little as 30 minutes to 30 days for a flex code for that, okay?
I do have a question. When I issue 1-day code, but just one code, say I have a contractor coming in and out, he can only use it once, right? And that's what I've been telling him, so I issue them like 3 or 4, and
Yes.
I'm like, is that excessive?
Yes,
But
it
okay.
expires an hour after they use it. So if they're gonna be in and out, they can use it, but if they're gonna be there longer than an hour, you have to give them another code.
Okay, perfect.
Okay? And then, again, little as 30 minutes up to 2 weeks at a time. You'll click get flex code. It's gonna ask for your pin face fingerprint. It creates the code, and then if you click on the caret here, it tells you how to use the code, and you can share it via text or email, however you'd like to share the code with them. Okay? So that's 1-day codes and flex codes for both boxes. The other thing I want to show you is SentriConnect. And this is a much more secure way to give access to somebody that doesn't have the SentriKey app, and we ask that you use it rather than 1-day codes and flex codes. Because it's Bluetooth and you'll get notified. Where with the 1-day codes and flex codes, you don't get notification when they use them. Because it's just a code, it's not Bluetooth, it's not sending anything through the server. Okay? So to do a SentriConnect, you would click on the menu bar, top left. You'll go to My Lockboxes, and you'll click Grant SentriConnect Access. Again, it needs to be assigned to a property or in the pending. And then you'll need their email for the first time. Okay, you'll put in their email address, you put in the date and the time, and for SentriConnect, as little as 30 minutes to 2 weeks, you can give them access. So if you have a contractor going in there for a week painting, whatever, I would use this. You'll grant them access, put in all their information, it's gonna ask for your pin face fingerprint, and then you're gonna send them an invite. And what that does is it sends them an invite to download a separate app that's free to them, and it's called the SentriConnect app. They click on that link, they fill out their information, and then they download that app on their phone, their smartphone, and that's what they use to go open the lockboxes. When they get to the lockbox, they're just gonna press enter, and it's gonna ask them for their PIN, and they open the box. You'll get notification again, and that's what's important, and that's why we don't like one-day codes or flex codes, because you don't know when they've used it until another Bluetooth connection is made with the box.
And where do you find that on the app?
It's under My Lockboxes and then grant SentriConnect access. But it's a much more secure way to grant vendors access to your lockboxes. And you can revoke their privilege in the message center. So let's say you have a vendor, a painter, and you're not happy with him and you don't want him there anymore. You can go to the message center and revoke his privileges. You cannot open that box anymore. Where with those codes, they can open the box at any time.
So, question.
During the time frame that you gave them.
So does that work on the old boxes too?
Works on the
Okay.
old boxes too, yes.
And I'm sorry, I was a little late, so am I switching my old boxes out, or am I just using them?
We are not doing a swap on these. They are coexisting out there. We have sold about 100 of these new babies, so that's why we're here, because you might start seeing them. We wanna make sure you know how to use them.
What's the price different?
The same price, $157.14 after tax, I think it is. It's $145 plus
What's
tax.
exactly different, I mean,
I'm sorry?
what's exactly different, I have to change to me, what's it?
You don't have to.
You don't have to
You don't
change
have
it.
to, right?
You don't have
Saying
to.
that they're out there now, you might see them.
You might see them, so you wanna go over it.
So when your old boxes, if they, I haven't had problems, and I don't know, since I got them, but if they go out, then you're just gonna replace with the new ones, or?
We're gonna replace like for like.
Okay, so we're gonna keep them.
Yep.
Gotcha, okay.
Yep.
Did you have like used for sale?
They might have some, yes. You
Okay.
have to check with the store. That's all Galvar with the store.
Okay.
Alright, so that's SentriConnect. Alright, so now I wanna show you on your app under My Listings, the menu bar here at the top left. You'll go to My Listings. I don't know how many of you have ever used this, but your listings populate here. Let's say that instance again where it's gonna be 3 weeks before it's on the MLS Live, and you wanna give a code to somebody, or SentriConnect. You can also go here and click the plus sign and add a listing just in the SentriConnect side. So this is, you don't have to put in fake addresses, like everybody used to put in fake addresses or put the same address multiple times and then you don't know where your box is. So this is the workaround for that. You put in the property address, the city, the state, the zip, and then scroll down and add new listing. You don't need the rest of that information in there. It will add the listing to the Sentrilock side, and then you can assign your lockbox. You can then issue codes, do everything the same. So you assign the lockbox, assign it, and done.
And again, that is before it's live on the MLS.
Before it's live on the MLS, it adds it to your listings, okay?
I do have a question.
Mhm.
So, I never use this function, and I have 4 properties, 4 listings in there. One of them, no, 2 of them are probably from about 10 years ago, and then the other 2 are recent.
Okay,
Can
if that,
anything else go?
if they're still in there,
Mhm.
do me a favor, call us at Galvar, and we'll open a ticket, and our IT team will remove them for you.
So do they automatically, when I have a
They're
listing?
supposed
goes
to
in there?
automatically remove, yes.
But just so when I get a listing, does it automatically go in there? Okay, so I had 3 since that last one, and they haven't been in there either, so is it something in my system that maybe? Cause I have, these 2 were
How
recent,
long
but I've
back,
had
like
2 or 3
months?
other ones after that, and they weren't in there.
How long, when did they go live?
Well, I've already sold them.
Oh, okay, then that's why.
They're in and gone
Then
already.
that's why.
Yeah.
Cause they're supposed to disappear after they're sold.
Okay,
So the 2 that are in there that didn't disappear.
There's 4 in
they'll-
there that haven't disappeared, so.
No,
okay.
Okay,
never-
so as long as they're not live anymore,
Okay.
you call us, we'll put in an IT ticket and they'll be removed.
So then every
The
time I
only
get
thing that should be in there are live listings,
live, okay,
okay?
perfect.
From the My Listing feature, you can click on Grant Sentry Connect. You can grant access from here as well, or access codes. This is where you can turn on access by appointment also. So it's just another place to do some of the same things I showed you. You can assign a lockbox, and you can add those homeowners to get the notifications if you want. So it's just another place to do some of the same things that we already did. And that's under My Listings. A lot of people have never used it, and it's a faster feature, basically.
On the access codes and the logs and stuff like that, how long does it normally keep that information?
On the app, it only keeps it for 30 days under your access logs. On the
Okay.
website, it keeps it for 3 years.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
The face ID, that means you just show your face, can
Correct.
open the lockbox?
Yep.
How can set
I'll
up?
show you.
Yeah,
We're
remember
getting
that
there.
Hollywood
We're
movie?
getting there, hold on.
Alright,
Okay.
you better know.
Alright, so now I explained access by appointment, right? So to schedule an appointment in our system, you would go to My Schedule, so the main menu bar, and now My Schedule. You would click on the plus sign here to create an appointment. You would put in the address you want the appointment for. You would put in the showing agent that's going to show the property, pick your time, your date, how long it's going to last, if it's the first showing, and then click Schedule Now. You'll get the success screen that the appointment has been set in our system, and it will send a confirmation to the showing agent, letting them know they have a confirmed showing at your property. And now they'll be able to open that box if you turned on access by appointment. Okay?
Or they can, you set up schedule, the listing agent can open that for you.
I'm sorry,
You set up the schedule,
The-
appointment.
They have to.
the
go
appointment,
Yes, then they open the box.
the showing agent then, the listing agent has to create the appointment, and then the showing agent can show it with that appointment in. Okay?
But if they have we can open it.
Unless you turned on access by appointment. If you turned on access by appointment, they can't open it. Access by appointment replaced call before showing. Call before showing was, you had to have the lockbox in front of you, you would enable call before showing, and then they would have to call you for a code. That's going away, and access by appointment is in place of it.
So how are we gonna know if that agent does access? Are they putting it in the MLS?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, hopefully
Okay.
they put in the MLS appointment only.
Otherwise, we show up at the box and we can't
You
get
can't
in.
open it.
Okay.
You can call them and they can give you a 1-day code.
Okay.
Okay, and if you wanted to check on your appointment, or if you wanted to edit it or cancel it, you would just click on the appointment itself, and it brings it up so that you can edit or cancel the appointment. Alright, now we're on to My Settings. So again, the main menu, we're gonna go to My Settings. This is where you enable that facial recognition. So all of you that wanted that facial recognition or fingerprint, this is where you would turn it on at. This is where you would turn on that agent safety as well. If you want to turn on that agent safety feature, you would enable it here. It's going to ask you for your pin-face fingerprint, and it's gonna ask you to open your contact list and choose a safety contact person. And then listing detail integration, this is where you would turn on for RPR to be enabled, so that you can click RPR from our app. And that's all under My Settings.
When I did that, it says, please remember to enable biometrics for SentriGuard for your phone settings.
So you have to go into your phone settings and do it then too. Yeah, if your phone's not set up for biometrics, then you have to have your phone set up for biometrics first before the app can do it. If your phone's already set up for biometrics, then the app will do it automatically.
And you don't have to do it that way with.
You don't have to use, as long as you use your PIN. I prefer the PIN because that way you know your PIN, and if you have trouble and you call support, the first thing they're gonna ask you for is your PIN, and they can't help you if you don't know your PIN. Well, now they'll help you, they'll ask you your security questions, but if you don't know those either, then they can't help you. So, I prefer using PINs, but it's completely up to you if you wanna use your face, fingerprint, whatever. Okay, so now we're on to the website. How many of you have ever used our website? Anybody? Couple, yes, alright. So you can manage your account there, you can do, one-day codes and Sentry Connect from the website as well for those keyless accesses. You can actually run reports and share them with your clients, so you can run some access logs and share them with your client. And this is where you would turn on lockbox sharing and take a look at your lockboxes and see, how they look. So, let's go into the website.
How
You
does
use the same,
Face ID obviously.
I'll show you later.
yeah, we'll show you after class, okay? So the website, same login information. Always remember too, your Sentry Key ID is always your public ID dash GLVAR. People forget that dash GLVAR and try to reset their password and it doesn't work, it says you don't belong. It's because you didn't put in the dash GLVAR, so remember that. Same login information to get onto the app, or the website, excuse me. So the first thing I'm gonna show you, because we talked about, access by appointment, under listings, if you click on listings, it will give you all your listings, and if you wanted to turn on access by appointment on the website, you would click these three dots over here on the far right, and then enable access by appointment, enable ABA, and that turns on that access by appointment. So you can either turn it on when you sign it to the lockbox through the app, or you can turn it on the website, or you can turn it off either way as well. Okay, so that's my listings. Now to create an appointment, we're gonna go to schedule. You would put in, this is your schedule, you would click schedule as showing on the far right. Put in, again, the showing property address that you want the showing for. Put in the showing agent's name, and then click on the time you want the appointment for, and it will create the appointment, put it in our schedule, and again, now they have an appointment, and they can open that box if you enabled access by appointment. Okay? And again, if you wanted to cancel it or something, you can just click on the appointment itself, and it will, you can cancel or edit the appointment. So that's how you turn on access by appointment on the website, and how you schedule an appointment. Lockboxes, this is where you can see your lockboxes, and if they have the latest firmware version, how many lockboxes you own, this will be here. And if you wanted to see your last battery date, you would click on the three buttons, the three dots on the far right, and then click system information, and this gives you your last time those batteries were changed, and obviously this one needs to get changed. We are changing batteries, anything 2019 and before, actually 2020, the beginning of 2020, we're changing those because they're 4 or 5 years old. Okay?
Do I just bring
This baby,
Yeah.
10-year-old batteries. So yes, if you haven't, you were late, that's right. If you haven't changed your batteries since you got these babies,
I was teaching class.
please bring them into LVR. You can drop them off at the front desk, we'll call you when we're done with them. We change batteries, update firmware, open, close them, test them, put them on our machines that tell us if they're doing what they're supposed to
So
be doing.
every 4 or 5, I've never changed my batteries. I've
Bring
had them since you guys gave
them
them
into us. Bring them into
They'll work.
us.
They're really good bosses, guys.
Yes, if they lasted 10 years, you're very lucky, but I don't want it to die on you and the property,
Oh,
so.
thanks, okay. That's
Okay.
good to know.
But that's where you would see your battery date if you wanted to take a look at them. Alright, and if you wanted to add somebody on your team, you would click up here next to your picture or your initials if you don't have a picture. There's a caret there. You would click on My Settings, and then Account Settings here. And then you would add Team Members here in the middle, Team Members. You would click on that and start typing in the person's name that you want to be on your team. You'll click the plus sign. It will then send an invite to them in the message center. It's not a email, it's not a text, it goes to the message center in the app saying, Anna has requested for you to be on her team, do you want to accept it? Once you accept being on the team, you can share each other's lockboxes. I have rights to your lockbox, you have rights to mine. I can do one-day codes for your lockboxes, I can do shackle release codes, I can release the shackles. So you have ownership privileges, but you don't own the lockbox. Alright? And then here's our lovely support team, part of them, it's a lot bigger than that. As I said, they're in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they are there 5 a.m., 9 p.m. our time. So, They're there to help you if you're at a lockbox and you need help right away. We're very proud of our support team. Average answer call, I think, is like 22 seconds before they get to you. They're very quick, and their goal is to get you in that property as quickly as possible. They will do some troubleshooting with you, because they want your app to work for you the next time you go to another property. So some agents just want a quick fix, give me a code. No, we're not gonna do that. We wanna know why your app isn't working so that it can work for you for the next time. Okay? We do have YouTube videos. You can go to YouTube, Vimeo. We also have a training on the website, which is very close to this training that I did. I specialize it for LVR because some associations don't have access by appointment, LVR does. But you can go to the training there and it gives you, there's a self-guided training and then there's a Zoom class as well. And that's really it. Showing agents, show your properties. Please remember to trigger that end of showing. Leave your app open long enough for those showing notifications to go through. If you're a listing agent, you want to use ABA, do that. SentriConnect for both, works on both. The lockbox is now available for sale. We're not doing a swap. You can, if you want, sell these back too. They'll give you 75 each, 150. These are 157.14 out the door, so that's the difference. If you don't mind, if you will scan the QR code with your phones and do an evaluation on my training.
Oh. You are.
I know. But this helps me to really be honest, because I'm going out and about more, especially since these babies are new and nobody has seen them. So if I need to tweak something, please put it in there. I will. All right? And any questions now? We'll put it up for questions.
I do. I have a question about the agent safety.
Okay.
Because I have some agents that ask me about it, and so with that, I'm sorry, I'm the sales manager here, so I just need the information.
Okay, perfect.
I can spread it.
So you can spread it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the agent safety, I love that, and for whatever reason it had shut off, which now I just turned back on. So thank you, appreciate
Okay.
that. But I like the feature because I just, sometimes it calls my husband and he's like, what's going on? I was like, sorry, I don't, like I hit the, so when I go into a house, it automatically comes up like alert agent safety or something and I have to hit deny or whatever it is, not stop or whatever, I don't know the verbiage. But if I don't hit that, how, like does it trigger it like 90 seconds?
Yes. So what will happen is once you open the box, if you don't turn off agent safety, and let me open this box so you guys can see how quick it is too. So let me open this box and then I'll show you my app. For some reason I couldn't cast today, so. Alright, I'm gonna put in my pin, open lockbox. See how fast that is?
Woo!
Woo-hoo!
That's worth buying.
And it drops down and it doesn't fall off completely, it's there for you. It's a bigger key bin, all of that, and it's much easier to close as well. Okay, in a minute, it's gotta die, but let me show her first. So the agent safety here, if you know you're safe, and you don't want that pop-up screen to come up in 90 seconds, you turn this off here. That way the pop-up screen won't come on.
For this showing.
For this showing. It'll come back on for the next showing and you can do the same thing. Otherwise, 90 seconds after you open the box, pop-up screen will come up. And you have to answer it. You can say, I'm safe, turn off, ask me every 2 minutes, or send an alert.
Okay, that was my question.
If you ignore that alert, that pop-up screen, it's gonna send an alert anyway. You have to ignore it twice, I think, and then it sends it.
Yeah, okay. But I strongly suggest everybody have that set.
Yes.
Because it's a huge feature, like if you don't know the person you're showing, it's great because then you can, just keep hitting it, because you might be fine in the first 2 showings, but then the third one
they get kinda creepy and.
Yeah, and it really is, it's huge. I'm so glad that you guys have implemented it in there.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my question, is what if in 90 seconds you're like, oh shit, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden 3 minutes in you think, oh shit, I'm not
Well, we
fine.
can't control that.
Okay,
so-
alright, so.
But
you'll put up again.
It's not a replacement for 911, but it's just an additional safety feature for you. And we do encourage you to use it. We work very closely with the Beverly Carter Foundation. I don't know if you know.
We're doing a walk on Sunday.
So she's, unfortunate tragedy there. But That's why we created the app,
So question for you,
or
so
the
once,
feature.
once you hit, like it pops up, and then if you don't do it, if you don't touch anything, you get another alert within
Mhm.
60 seconds, something like that?
60 seconds after, yeah, 90 seconds for the first one, 60 seconds for the next one.
But you have to answer it after the second one, cause I was thinking, when you were
Yes.
just saying, I'm like, what if you have, you know how like when you have set an alarm and you hit snooze and snooze and
Yeah,
snooze
yeah.
and snooze? It's not like that, after
No.
the second one, it's gonna call.
It's gonna
And
call
it
if
does
you
call,
ignore it,
it
yes.
does, it does call.
It texts and
You're an emergency
emails.
person.
It texts and emails both. And you can put in more than one safety contact person when you're setting it up if you want. It's up to you, but realize they're all gonna get notified if you.
And it's the same thing, so when we first go to the house, we just hit enter our code, it opens,
And leave your app open.
close it,
Close the box, leave your
and
app
then when
open.
we leave, we'll also get that safety alert the second time when we close it.
No, when you get the, when
It
you.
knows the difference?
It knows the difference,
Okay.
yeah, especially if you hit end showing.
Oh.
End showing return key.
And that's,
Otherwise, it will do it. If you just,
then showing's on our phone?
Yeah.
Okay,
on the app,
on the app, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay? Otherwise, it will bring it up, correct? And then you have to,
So if you do it twice, it recognizes it and we'll get that in showing notification on our app. Like we do it the first time.
you open the box the first time, okay, and then you leave it open, leave your app open. You're gonna click end showing, alright? And then it's gonna walk you through returning the key. At that point, it's not gonna come up with that safety.
Okay.
Okay, but if you don't leave the app open and click end showing, and you just go and reopen it again, then yes, it's gonna pop up again. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you. Alrighty, so let me open it again, cause somebody wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hola.
Ready? Alright, I'm gonna open it.
Masako, this is for
Let's-
you, she's doing it for you.
Okay, okay, you press enter on the box. It's gonna ask me for my pin face fingerprint,
Whew, that's a lot.
open lockbox. There you go. It's
Ta-da!
that fast.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off agent safety so I don't get it. And then I'm gonna hit end showing, okay, and end showing, return key, all of that, so same thing,
So
okay?
this is the same thing, it's like when you open it and take the key and you wanted to make sure
You wanna close it,
as soon
yes.
as possible.
Alright, somebody's opening my box.
Oh. That's extra.
The last training I did was like 10 people and it kept going, and I'm like, okay guys, enough.
How did you do that though?
How did I do what?
How did you open her box?
Any
I
other
did it.
questions?
Oh.
She was just
okay.
saying.
Any other questions?
Yes, I just did your survey for you. I
Thank
gave
you.
you some great props and shit.
Okay.
And now it wants me to sign up for Survey Monkey. Is that a requirement or
No,
no?
it's not a requirement.
Okay, fair
That's-
enough.
All Survey Monkeys will ask you that, so.
Oh, okay.
Anytime you use Survey Monkey to create a survey, it's gonna ask you for that, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure you're getting credit for, I put in some good stuff.
Thank you, I appreciate
All
that.
right.
I love these new boxes you bought on the stage.
Yeah, because back in the day, you had to, yeah, you had to catch it and you know, find it on the ground.
Yeah, and walk
And-
around and where I put it.
Yes, yeah, no, it stays intact, so, yeah. We love our new little box and 10-year battery life.
Uh-huh.
So that's the biggest difference, really. And it actually has a backup battery so that if it is stuck on a property, so because there's no power paddle, there's no extra power source, has a backup battery that we can engage, support will engage to give it enough power to release the shackle so that we don't have to get a locksmith out
We
there.
can use the old one to exchange the new one, right?
Hold on.
You can, it's not a one-for-one
It's 2 for
exchange,
1.
no, we're not doing an exchange.
2 for 1.
You can sell these back to LVR if you want. They pay $75 each. To buy a new lockbox, it's $145 plus tax, which comes to $157 plus.
So if somebody wanna buy some more old ones, is it the same price, $157?
They
No.
don't have any more of these old ones unless they have used.
I was gonna say, so
They
if I
might have
sell mine
used.
back, are you guys gonna sell them to, like, as
Mhm.
used? How much do you sell the used ones for?
The used ones are, let's see, 145, 105.
That's good.
But you only give credit for 75, huh? I see
Right.
what's going on
Yes,
there.
now
Oh,
it's a
hey, I'm a numbers
It's a
guy.
business.
I know, my God.
Cut the video.
Should they
But
get a
I-
new battery?
Now you,
I'm sorry?
Do the old ones get a new battery if you buy a used one?
Oh yeah, what happens with so if somebody sells these back, and actually we just did 30-some, so now's a good time to go to the store if you want these. We clean them, we change batteries, we update firmware, we test them, and if they don't pass our test, we defect them and put in a replacement box in there. So, yeah, you're getting a good used box. Yeah.
Now, another question, since it's all getting brought up, the boxes that I have, you said if I bring them in, if they're a certain age, you're gonna replace my battery for me anyways.
Mhm.
That's part of your service.
Yes.
So the 10-year battery life on the new one really doesn't mean a hoot anyways, because I'm getting battery
True.
life on my old one.
True.
Okay.
Because it's the inconvenience of going down there.
It's just
Well, I mean,
True.
I'm already
That's
thinking,
it,
oh, now I have to take all my
okay.
boxes down there.
It's just a matter of if you want new and shiny,
please.
or you want old and dependable.
Right.
Yay! That's all.
Thank you,
Great.
everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Woo-hoo.